The best niches for digital marketing agencies in 2021. Let's do this. Okay guys, so before we jump into this video today, first of all, I want to make sure you are subscribed and you have your notification bell turned on so you get notified every time we bring out new content. Second of all, I want to say a big thank you to the guys up top, the guys at YouTube. I got a letter come through the door earlier on this week, a parcel, giving me my 100,000 subscriber plaque. And yeah, this is surreal. I didn't realize that YouTube actually, they no longer send these out to every single person. They actually vet YouTube channels now to decide who they're giving these to. And I just want to say, look, I appreciate every single one of you guys who have been around, whether you were here before 100,000, you're after 100,000, and I hope we continue to grow this channel. Genuinely, we wouldn't have been able to get to where we are right now with this brand if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much. Shout out to you. I'm going to get this smashed up on the wall. Yeah, I'm so proud of this, and I can't wait to get a gold one of these bad boys in the future. So that's that one. Thank you, YouTube. This bad boy, I literally got sent this a couple of days ago from one of our members of the Affluent Academy, and I feel terrible because I can't remember the guy's name. So as soon as I remember his name, I am going to post it. A company called Drip, I think it's DRRIP. But yeah, member of the Affluent Academy. This is cool. Fear equals growth. Fear is an indicator and a catalyst of growth. If you're not getting scared, you're not growing. Nothing grows in the comfort zone. Stepping into the unfamiliar, taking that risk, or getting scared on a regular basis ensures you're growing. Love that. Thank you. So, the best niches in 2021. Ooh, that's hot. For digital marketing agencies, right? Or SMMAs, or marketing agencies full stop, whatever you want to call it, right? There's a couple of things I want to clarify before we jump into this video, because it's something which is, it's probably the most over-requested video that I create, and I create one of these every now and then to make sure that information is up to date and you guys are reaching out to the most relevant and profitable niches within your agency. Now, first of all, a niche, if you don't know what a niche is, niche or niche, depending on where you are in the world, is just a business industry. So it's a type of business. For example, a restaurant or a dentist or an online fitness practitioner, they are all different industries or different niches. So that's what a niche is. Second of all, there's this big open-ended question around the digital marketing space as to whether you should pick one niche in your agency and that's going to be the only thing that defines you from being successful, that puts you ahead of everyone else, or whether you should pick 3, or whether you should pick 5, or whether you should just have an open-ended agency and you target absolutely everybody. Now, my opinion on this is that you should pick 3 niches when you first start out, okay? And then try and niche down and be as niche as possible when you have built your agency to a substantial amount of clients, because the more niche that you are, okay, the fewer companies that you work with, the more companies that you turn away, the more attractive you are to particular industries. For example, if you are trying to compete against, let's say you're agency A and then you're competing against agency B. Agency A, you're trying to target a tennis coaching business, right? If agency A specializes in tennis coaching, they are going to sign up that client. They're going to be way more likely to sign up that client than agency B, who doesn't specialize in anything and kind of jack of all trades, takes on anybody they can get your hands on because they just want the cash. So there is value in niching down and focusing on one individual sector. And so, as I said, I recommend picking 3 niches when you first start out and then narrowing down. I also always recommend picking your passions first. This is the number one most important bit of advice I can give people around choosing niches, what industries to reach out to when they first start their agency. Because if you're not working with industries that you are genuinely passionate about, you're not going to enjoy your digital marketing agency. And what's the point in starting a business if you're not actually going to enjoy running it in the daily operations? And so I recommend people picking 3 industries which they have a genuine interest in. Maybe this is something they do in their spare time. Maybe you like golf. Maybe you're a footballer. Maybe you like drawing. Pick something in your personal life and then try and think of industries that you can reach out to within your agency. Now, I always say 3 because just because you think you enjoy that industry as a hobby doesn't mean you're actually going to enjoy working with them and advertising them. And so at least if you've got 3 and you work with 3 different kind of industries, you can then decide which ones you actually enjoy working with and then niche down into those later down the line. But, and there is a big but here, Your niche is not what defines the success of your agency. It's very frustrating, I see time and time again, when somebody posts in one of my groups or on YouTube or anywhere else for that matter saying they've just signed up a brand new client, they're having success in their agency, they're sharing that success. You can almost guarantee that there's a flood of brand new agency owners who are saying, what is your niche? What niche are you working in? What's your industry, dude? Like that defines why their agency is successful and why they're signing up clients. The niche is not the secret, right? The niche is not what makes you successful within your agency. It's consistency and hitting sales targets. That's the only thing that's going to build a successful agency. So if you're watching this video purely because you think I'm going to give you one miraculous niche which is going to make you hit 6 figures in your agency, you are in the wrong place. You're focusing your efforts in the wrong areas. Focus on outreach, focus on sales targets, focus on signing new clients, full stop. Okay. Rant over. So what are some really good niches to reach out to in 2021? Some industries to keep an eye on? Well, first of all, it's safe to say that this year has been pretty crazy, to say the least. And businesses around the globe have been forced to innovate in ways that they really didn't think they'd have to innovate. For example, restaurants were a really, really great niche for digital marketing agencies at the turn of this year. But with everything that's happened, so many of them are shut down. So many haven't even reopened. I'm in the UK. We're back into lockdown right now, and we can't go out and eat out. But a certain minority of restaurants have innovated and adopted a delivery service, right? Whether they've built their own app or they're on Deliveroo or on Uber Eats. And these are the restaurants which are still great to reach out to right now, because in fact, actually you can generate more revenue for a restaurant right now through digital marketing than you could have done beforehand. Because beforehand, restaurants were limited by the number of tables they have in their business, right? But now they can literally deliver to the entire city if they want to. So if their digital marketing is on point and they have great campaigns, there is no reason why they cannot dominate the space when it comes to food deliveries. So that's something to consider. Now, another example of this is with gyms. And gyms are great clients to start off with your agency. And if you're not in lockdown right now, they're really great businesses to reach out to right now, especially because people want to get back into their fitness because everything has been screwed up so much this year. But we've seen so many gyms innovate. So many of them adopt online models, right? Online coaching, live Zoom calls with a big community of people doing home workouts, nutritional information online courses, right? And these are the perfect kind of products to be advertised by a digital marketing agency. So keep an eye out for the gyms in your local area who have actually adapted and innovated during this period. We then have healthcare. Healthcare is another big niche in digital marketing. How is that really panning out right now? Well, if you're not in lockdown, again, people want to have treatments all the time. It doesn't affect you. But if you are, companies are still needing to book procedures in advance. They're still wanting lead generation, hair transplant clinics, aesthetic clinics. We're in a world that are we're naturally very image conscious people these days because of Instagram, because of social media, because of the pressure that society puts on us. And so cosmetics, lip fillers, plastic surgery, hair transplants, as I said, cosmetic dentistry, all of these clinics are really great regardless. All of these industries are really great regardless of where you are based in the world, regardless of whether you're in lockdown, because these industries still want to generate leads and pre-book procedures for when they are allowed to reopen again. So again, really great niches to reach out to for beginners, for lead generation. And generally speaking, getting results for those industries is pretty straightforward as well. Now, we also have real estate when we're looking at brick and mortar, and the real estate industry, certainly in the UK right now, is booming. It's larger than ever. Property prices are higher than they've ever been, and people are still buying because we don't have stamp duty at the moment. And so it's a great industry to be chasing and to be signing up for your agency, and then adopt some kind of a lead generation strategy when you actually happen to sign them up. Now, the reason why I'm going through everything brick and mortar first is because I always recommend reaching out to brick and mortar industries when you're first starting your agency. I do not recommend new start agencies to reach out to e-commerce businesses. And I think it's very easy for new start agencies to see e-commerce as this beacon of shining light, which is going to make them make a ton of cash. And yes, they're very high ticket clients. Yes, generally speaking, you can get higher retainers for e-commerce businesses, but I must stress this, e-commerce businesses or e-commerce business owners, generally speaking again, are tech savvy people. They've set up their business, they've set up their fulfillment, everything's digital, right? They're probably not even manufacturing their products themselves, right? So they have somewhat of a tech savvy mind. Therefore, they understand to sell their products, they need to advertise. And so they already have an existing knowledge of advertising online. And therefore, if a new start digital marketing agency approaches them and says, hey, I want to run your ads for them, and they don't have any experience, no case studies, nothing, then what reason have they got to sign up with that agency? The only power you have is your ability to convince and to sell, right? You have less of an advantage when it comes to education because the business owners are already aware of digital advertising. Now, when it comes to brick and mortar companies, yes, these companies are still very aware of digital advertising. Don't want that to get cold. They're still aware of digital advertising, right? But they haven't necessarily tried it themselves. And generally speaking, they don't know how to execute it because they're so busy, caught up running the daily operations of their local brick and mortar business, which requires them to physically be in a location. Therefore, it's much easier as a new start agency to convince a brick and mortar business to sign up with them because there is a much larger knowledge gap. Also, if you're starting off in your local area, in your local vicinity, then you have that to your advantage as well because you're somebody local and people generally like to work with other people who are local. Think about it. If you're based in Birmingham in the UK and you're reaching out to, I don't know, an e-commerce brand in New York, right? This New York e-commerce brand isn't going to work with a Birmingham-based digital marketing agency who's got no experience, no credibility, no case studies whatsoever, right? They're going to work with someone local who's already got that stuff. And even if they don't have that stuff, at least there's someone local to them so they actually understand their local market. So you're much better off starting off local, building your case studies, getting your experience, and then expanding out from there, okay? So I always recommend with your niches, start off local, brick and mortar, and then move on to e-commerce later down the line. Now, with e-commerce, there really are thousands of sub-niches that you can reach out to, and a few of those exploded at the start of this year. We worked with a garden furniture company at the start of lockdown. Everyone was at their home, and we got between 60 and 80 times return on ad spend month on month for these guys. We had them sign up on a 10% ROAS deal, so we made an absolute killing with that business. We still work with them right now. Some agencies went crazy on the home fitness thing, and those companies sold out any kind of home supplementation or online fitness, any kind of business like that really did explode. But I wouldn't recommend just focusing on those businesses now because you've kind of missed the boat when it comes to when it came to that boom. That being said, one industry which is really going to prevail and continue to grow is health. Any kind of health e-commerce brand, any kind of product which is related to health will continue to grow throughout the years. Now, as a culture, we are generally more health conscious. But with e-commerce, looking at it as a broad spectrum, I always recommend falling back to the picking your passions thing because there are thousands of sub-niches. It's impossible for me to give you a list of all the ones which are highly profitable because there are so many of them that are highly profitable. So pick the industries you are genuinely passionate and genuinely interested in, test them out first, reach out to them, sign them up, and then work out whether you actually enjoy working with them. But please, just do that if you already have a couple of clients, you have some case studies, have some testimonials. Don't try and run before you can walk. Yes, there are unicorns out there that started off straight away in e-commerce, but generally speaking, the majority of new start agencies will struggle to sign up e-commerce business. And that's me being completely honest with you. Whoever else you're watching who's telling you otherwise is talking shit. Bottom line. Okay, guys, that's the end of this video. One final thing I want to add on is avoid startups regardless of the niche. Trust me, they will be a headache for your agency when you're first starting out. So avoid them. I won't get into a rant right now about it. Maybe I will in the future. But yeah, avoid startups because generally there's a low budget there. The expectations are that you're going to turn a profit very, very quickly when in reality it's probably going to take 3 to 6 months to turn a profit if they don't have proof of concept, they don't have existing customers, they don't have existing traffic, blah, 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 blah. And as a new start agency, this can be really disconcerting. This can be something which really kind of throws you back, makes you think that you're not doing a good job when in reality, it's just that the quality of the client isn't good enough for your agency or isn't good enough to be advertising or just needs a lot of time to get to the point where they're turning over regular profits and high ROI. So anyway, I'm not going to jump into that because I could rant about that for ages. That's the end of this video, guys. I hope you've got value from this. Please do drop a comment down below with whatever niches you think are hot right now and in 2021 and in the future as well, what we need to look out for other agencies. And yeah, please do make sure you're subscribed if it's the first time you ever watch my content. Thank you again so much for this plaque. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Cheers, guys.